Hi, so I wanted to record a little video about negativity. Okay, now for a lot of choices that I've made in my life, I have received negativity. So, for example, I didn't go to university, and people that haven't been to university will have experienced some sort of negativity against that. Why didn't you go? Were you not smart enough? Why did you not, have that drive in your life? So, throughout that being a choice of mine, I had that to contend with. Moving out at a really young age, again, you have the backlash to that. Deciding to, well, I didn't decide, but finding myself having a baby before being married, and then my daughter not having the same surname as me until a little bit later on when I did marry my now husband, so her dad. The backlash of that. One of the biggest times I've received negativity based on one of my choices in life was deciding to breastfeed. Decided to breastfeed because I looked at all of the information, and I'm not in any way saying that breastfeed or formula fed choices is better than the other. Absolutely not saying that. But for me, I made the decision to breastfeed my daughter. And I received a lot of negativity about that at the time. And what I found really astounding was the choice that I made to breastfeed my daughter was not based on trying to rile anybody, annoy anybody. I made that decision because I felt like for us as a family, the benefits that breastfeeding was going to give to my daughter was so much greater than the difficulties that you face when you do decide to breastfeed, because it's not easy. Having a child isn't easy, but I felt like the pros for that decision far outweighed the struggles that I would face. And for me, that was the right choice for me. And I honestly couldn't understand why people sort of gave the impression that I had decided upon that choice in my life to annoy somebody. I don't get that. Anyway, later on down the line, I decided to look at a vegan lifestyle. I watched quite a few horrendous slaughter videos to animals. And again, if people don't decide to have a vegan lifestyle, that's their choice. I really couldn't care less. But I decided that for me, I just struggled to endorse and give my money to that industry where I felt like what I was starting to see was happening to animals was not okay with me. And I'm not even an animal person. I'm really not a big animal person, but I could not give my money to say this is okay when it absolutely, for me, was not okay. It really, really wasn't okay. Like for me, I felt like before I was born, there was obviously something called slavery, and people of minority groups were used as slaves. And that, if I lived in that era, I could not endorse that. I would not be okay with that. I would not be okay with that, and I'd have taken a stance against that. And that's how I feel about my choice here with eating animals. That's my choice, and also the health implications as well. So I looked into it and I decided that my body for me wasn't worth that short-term oh wow, this tastes amazing. I didn't want to put that into my body anymore. I could see, and I was learning about what those kind of things were doing to my body. So I made the decision. And again, if people don't decide that they want to have a vegan lifestyle, that's okay. But again, the backlash of that, people suddenly feel like you've decided to look at vegan alternatives because you want to annoy them. No. And then, so lastly, well, not lastly, I'm sure there'll be many more things, but deciding to start my own business, and deciding that for me, because I couldn't afford to buy a £200,000 franchise, and I didn't have the time to go and start a shop in town and add value to people's lives by selling something or recommending a service or providing something for people to make money. I didn't have the time to be able to do that. And because I didn't have any skills, I can't be an actor, a singer, a musician, I don't have any skills, that I was left with very little choices. But I knew that I wanted to contribute in the world some way. I didn't want to be living off government help. I decided to start my business with network marketing because it's very little investment, and it's completely effort based. So the great thing is, it's your efforts that create your success. So if you work hard, you can be successful. And if you decide not to work hard, the business doesn't take off. So I love that it was effort based. It's completely fair. It's a fair level playing field. So I decided to start my business with a company that sat with my ethics. I'm a very, very ethical person. I like people to have choices. I like people to make the decision based on their own informed choice. I don't like to be pushy. I don't like to mislead. I like to have integrity. I like to be honest. So when I was looking at a company, Arbonne for me ticked every box because the ingredients policy was the best I'd ever seen in my entire life. The products alone were better than anything else. And not only were they better than anything else, they were the most honest products I'd ever seen. The ingredients that go into the Arbonne products are full of honesty. They are honest about what they're putting in, and they are not misleading you in any way. Like, for example, you could buy a product and it will say it's got perfume in it, and now there's no legal definition behind what that is. So companies can just slap in anything. So I love that Arbonne were honest. Their ingredients policy is so honest, and they would never ever do anything that would be in any way harmful to people. They are a people-driven company. Like, for example, companies test on animals. Why do they test on animals? Why don't they test on humans? Because they're terrified of what might happen, because they know what's gone into their product. So they won't test on a human because they're scared to test on human. Arbonne don't do that. They test all of their products on human volunteers because they know their products are plant-based. So they know they're safe, and they're for people. They're people-driven. They're not a profit-driven company. So that for me was a massive tick. And I wanted to be recommending good quality products. I wanted to recommend great things to people. I love recommending things. I love helping people. I have a massive desire to help people. I'm one of those types of people that if I see somebody ask a question on social media, I want to answer it. Even if I don't know the answer, I just want to be involved. I want to answer. I want to help in some way. I love being able to do that. So network marketing gives you that. And the company, fantastic. Absolutely love it. And I have to say, I've been able to teach other people the skills to have Arbonne in their life for numerous reasons. So there are people that I've been able to teach how to do Arbonne that want to build a little income every single month. And, they say to me, Danny, I just need £500 a month to keep us afloat. And that's fine. If they're happy to work maybe 1 hour a day, building this as a business around their busy life, just to bring in that extra £500 a month, can teach them how to do that. That's absolutely okay. And then there are people that say, Danny, I want to be earning £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 a month because I've got charities that I want to invest in. I've got people that I want to help. I've got, all these causes abroad that I want to be involved with. I've got this, I want to get on the property ladder. Or for whatever their reason is, I can teach them to work more hours a day around their main commitments to build a corporate style income. It's a slightly different set of skills, and it's more invested into your business and more invested into personal development and mindset and growing successful. I can absolutely teach people how to do that, how to build a team and how to go. Then there are people that do this business because they just want to be a product user. They want to use the products. They want to have the free training to learn about the products. And they just want to be a product user and come along to trainings. And that's okay. They're not interested in building an extra bit of money. And that's fine. But they get involved. They love the trainings. And they just like being involved with everything that's going on, and being asked to be like a human volunteer on the products. Then there are people that just want to have some sort of social life. For whatever reason, they might not have a lot of friends, they might not live with a lot of friends, they might not have family. For whatever their reason, they just want to be involved in some sort of like family network. And the great thing about Arbonne is you are pushed into a network, if you want to be into it, where everybody thinks that you're brilliant, everybody loves you for who you are, all, warts and all, and you're completely welcomed, and people will help you. And if you ask for a bit of help moving house, people will help you. So there are people that come along into Arbonne and they just want to be involved with the network side of it, the friendship sides of it, the social side. They come along to trainings, they like the online trainings, they feel like they're part of something, they're not bored anymore, they feel like they really have got a place in this network. There's people that come along and they just like meeting people, and they like watching other people become really successful. They're happy just to be on the sidelines watching, and that's okay as well. And there are just so many different reasons why people start this business, and why I teach them how to do this business. And for some people, it's because they're sick of negativity. They're sick to death of waking up every morning, looking at their Facebook newsfeed full of people moaning and just being nasty. Gosh, it is unbelievable how many people are so angry and they lash out at other people it's just crazy. And then they go to work and people are negative at work. They're dealing with negative employees. They're dealing with negative colleagues, negative maybe people coming in to what they do for work. Then they come home, their spouse might be negative, and then they go to bed and they're surrounded by negativity and they're sick of it. They're sick to death of it. And honestly, I believe that's where my depression and anxiety came from, because I was surrounding myself. I put myself in a situation where I was surrounded by so many negative vibrations. There's no wonder that I was starting to become that way and feeling like I didn't want to get out of bed. I probably didn't want to be around any of the negativity anymore. So there are people that make the decision to start an Arbonne business, not necessarily to build an Arbonne business, to build a team, not necessarily for the income, not necessarily for the more free time you have or the holidays you have, maybe not necessarily for that, because maybe they just want a bit of an escape, a bit of a haven, a bit of a retreat, a bit of a breath of fresh air, a bit of their social media to be full of nice, happy people that are doing fun things, that are given to charities, that are helpful, that are kind, that are just honest, that are just friends, nice people. So there are people that start an Arbonne business for so many different reasons. So when you receive negativity from building this business, which I won't lie to you, when I introduce people into this business, I do tell them that Arbonne is easy. Arbonne could not be any easier. You swap the shampoo you're using, you shop what you're washing, you swap what you're eating and drinking to buying from your own online business. So obviously you get a bigger discount and you use products from your own business. That's not hard. That's very easy, just swapping brands. And then should you wish to tell other people your experiences, you tell them and then you get paid for that. That's it. That is it. That's not hard. That's easy. Arbonne is, I've never found such an easy business to be involved with. What is hard is the negativity that you will receive from people that are ignorant and not willing to actually listen to the truth about what this company is. They're quite happy to be negative about it, but they're not happy to sit and have a coffee for 20 minutes and actually listen to, if they want to make a negative opinion, actually make it based on truth and not on ignorance. So that is hard. And I won't lie to people when they start this business. I tell them that straight away. I say, you have to be prepared to be like a pioneer, to be like one of the first people in your family and friends network that decides that you want to be a part of network marketing. And there are people that don't do network marketing well, like any group, and people will assume that you are not going to do well with this. People will assume that you're going to be one of those people that just post all over social media, buy this, join my team, la 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 la. Yeah, that is annoying. But with any industry, with any business, you will get people that don't do it well. That's regardless. You can get that with parents. You can't say all parents are annoying because they all post pictures of their children on Facebook all day long. Some people do. I put my hands up, I'm one of them. But some people do, but some people don't. So you can't take everybody in the same brush. But I do say this to people. I say you will have people that will assume that you're not going to do well with network marketing because they may have seen somebody or know of somebody that knows somebody that didn't do well with it. Okay? So you do have to be prepared for that. And I will say that from my experience, so I've been doing this business for over 18 months now. Now, from my experience, the people that are the most negative, usually it's because they've been ticked off because they feel like you are personally attacking them. Now, I know in my experience, I've never ever wanted to personally make anybody feel bad. I've never wanted to, the thought of somebody saying Danny Wells makes me feel bad about my choices, makes me sad. But I find that people feel negative towards people that do network marketing because you've made them feel bad about a choice. For example, when I would say things like, I love being able to pick my daughter up from every single school pickup and drop them off every single school drop off. I do love that and I am very grateful for that. But when somebody's reading that, what they're hearing is, oh, because I go to work to provide for my family, I'm not good enough. That's what they're hearing. And that's not your intention. I know that, I absolutely know that. But just be really mindful about what they are actually thinking. So when they're negative about you, it's probably not that they're negative about you. They're negative about what you're doing is great, but how you've made them feel, okay? That's usually where that comes from. Trying to think of another example as well. So saying that your business is really, really, really easy, and like I've just said, Arbonne itself is easy, But when you tell people, oh, I didn't do anything and I earned several £1,000s, that's going to get on people's backs. That's going to irritate people, because they're going to think, well, it must be like some sort of scam, because, you know, to earn money, you have to work really hard. You absolutely do have to work really, really hard, regardless as to what you're doing to earn that money. So try not to post things that come across like, I've only worked for 1 hour today and I've earned £7,000. Try to be a bit more diplomatic about that. Try to be more, I've used products, I've spent time learning about these products, and then I inform other people of the information about these products, and then I provide them with great customer service, etc., etc. And then you are paid for that. So try not to come across like you don't do anything to make money, because that will annoy people. It's going to be really hard, but try to distance yourself away from people that are going to pull you down. And sometimes that's hard, because that's your friends and family and you can't just cut them off. But just try to distance yourself away from them, for your sake and their sake. For your sake, because they are going to be trying to pull you down. Because if you're going and doing something great, you're making them feel bad for their own decisions. And I know that's not your intention. So just try and come away from it. For me, I don't talk about Arbonne with my friends. And you know what? I think half my friends don't even realise actually how successful I have grown my business, because I don't talk about it. Because I know that if I talk about it, they feel negativity towards what I'm doing, because I don't think some of them really understand about how hard you have to work in terms of having to deal with people's negativity, and how you have to grow as a leader, and how you do have to, like, you know, read books and you know, you have to grow within yourself, and that can be hard work doing that and having to grow. You know, like I said, Arbonne itself is easy, but it's all the other stuff that comes with it, the growing within yourself. And so I don't think they realise that actually the income that I have is well deserved. So I don't think they want to talk about it. So I don't mention it to them. And equally, that probably would do them a favour as well, because they probably don't want to hear about how successful you're becoming, because it can be a bit of a jealousy thing. It really can. So maybe just try to just distance yourself away from that. And when you want to talk about how great your business is going, do that to Arbonne people, because they will be really supportive. Or do that to your really supportive friends. You will have some friends that are super, super supportive. They might not build a business with you, but they're so supportive. Talk about it to them. A couple of other tips about dealing with negativity is, if you do have a friend or family member that is super negative because they know somebody's uncle's cousin's next door neighbour that didn't do very well with Arbonne, and they bought some products and they didn't like the products, and then they couldn't sell them, so therefore they lost their money. So if you know somebody like that, my advice is to say to your friend, look, I know that person you know who knows somebody that knows somebody did a business that didn't work. However, like any industry, there's always going to be people that do well at things and people that don't. Let me just practice on you, explaining how this works, because one, it's going to help me get better because I'm practicing, and two, it's going to help because you're going to be able to answer, you're going to be able to fire questions at me that I might face when I'm out on the field talking to people about this. So you're the best person for me to practice upon. So then practice on them, because when I had negative friends in the beginning, I asked them if I could practice on them, because I knew if I could face the negative questions of my friends and deal with those questions and answer them, then I was prepared for anything. So practice on those people. I'll probably just sum up and end with, you will always get negativity with owning a network marketing business, and I wish that you didn't. I do, because if more people could see how great this business is for numerous different reasons, they would probably take a chance and do it, and their choice of jumping in and taking a leap of faith of doing this business is scuppered because somebody else has put them off. So a bit like, we know that when we have a baby it hurts, we know that. But if everybody talked all the time about how when you have a baby, don't have a baby because it hurts, blah, 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 you know, things might not look the same afterwards, damage, blah, 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 then it would put people off having babies. They wouldn't take that leap of faith and do it. And that's the same with network marketing. It puts so many people off. I just think you're just going to have to just use that negativity to try and be the proof of that one person that does work for, because our network marketing has worked incredibly well for me. It's worked incredibly well for me quite quickly. So with our company, we are given a cash bonus to buy or lease a brand new white Mercedes. Now, you would not believe the grief of the people that come out of the woodwork that tell you, people that don't even just ask how you are anyway, that come out the woodwork to tell you that you can't get a white Mercedes, it doesn't exist, it's not real. The negativity that you get is like, whoa, oh my gosh. So I decided to use all that negativity to prove that the white Mercedes does exist. And the reason why that drove me to do that was because there were people that I could see where I lived that, like me, were on government help, and they just had no passion and drive for life. They'd lost their way. They were not spending as much time with their children as what they would want to. They couldn't say yes to buying things that they wanted to buy. They were always like, no, I can't afford to even buy a coffee. I can't even afford to pay £1 for playgroup. There were people that were in my position, and I was looking at them thinking, gosh, you're just like where I was. And luckily for me, I found this business and it's been able to help me and my family. I want you to be able to have the same opportunity. So I knew that I could use that negativity to drive me to earn the Mercedes, not because I care about cars. I couldn't care less about cars, but I needed to earn that Mercedes to prove that if you work this business works and it rewards you back. Okay, so I needed to earn that car damn quick to prove, and it worked. I worked so hard and I proved it. And the amount of people that come up to me now and say, Danny, do you know, you took so much grief in the beginning because you were the first person in this town to, you know, really say that I'm going to do this. And the grief that you endured, you know, the people that deleted your Facebook, the people that criticized you, the people that said, you know, Danny, she'll never do that, she's living in cloud cuckoo land. You proved that it worked, and because of that, it's meant that I actually took a second look at this business, and now I'm an extra £500 a month, which means that I never have to say I can't afford it to anything and get that sick, embarrassed feeling in my stomach, that humiliation in my stomach, because you worked hard to go against what people told you couldn't do. So use that negativity to drive you, because you'll find negativity drives you more than positivity. It will. It's like fuels your belly. And yeah, it's hard. And don't get me wrong, I've had times where I've just sat with my head in my hands and just cried and said to my husband, like, why do people keep saying that I can't make this business successful? Other people have made it successful for the past 36 years. Why are people saying that I can't do this? Why can't I do this? And it drove me to work harder on myself, to become more, so that people wanted to listen to what I had to say about products or business or leadership or mentorship, so that they could go on and learn the skills that I had learned, so that they could go and duplicate that. So use that negativity to your advantage. Now, one thing I have seen, and it's sad, it's really sad, is people can be crushed by negativity. They can be crushed. They know that Arbonne's easy, use products, tell people about them. They know that. That's not hard. They know that this business works if you make it work. If you're a nice person and you're honest and you keep going and you keep growing, and people will want to be a client to your business, but they just want to watch first. Actually, if there's the social proof behind it, if the products actually work, they want to watch first. They might watch for a couple of years before they actually become a client in your business. But people quit too soon because of negativity. They know that this business does work. They know it can absolutely work for them. They know the products are great. They know the income's great. They know that £500 plus a month is going to make a big difference to their household. And they know that. But the negativity is just too much for them and they can't cope with it. And it's so sad, because then I've got some friends, and my heart absolutely bleeds when they say, I can't afford a coffee. I can't afford to go for a coffee. And it just reminds me of where I used to be. And my God, no negativity would put me back in that position. I tell you now, no negativity would make me go back to being in my house and having my two little girls hear me say, Mummy can't even afford to go for a coffee. Because I know what it's like to be in that position, and it's not nice. I would never, God, no negativity would put me back in that situation. If my whole business crumbled now, not that it would, because it just doesn't, but if it did, and I had to start from scratch, my God, I would. My God, I would start this business from scratch. You could put me in another country with my husband and my two little girls and tell me that I had no income coming in, and within 3 weeks, I would have built at the start of a team and been building a client base of people that want to listen to what I have got to say about products that could help them, and a business that could help them. And there's no way that my kids will see me say, Mummy can't even afford a coffee. God, nothing. No negativity. You could have people standing outside my house with those pitchforks on fire and stuff, saying, oh, Danny does network marketing, she's this, that and the other. No. Is that going to drag me down to not being able to afford £1? Oh my gosh, nothing. No negativity. So to sum up, don't let negativity drag you down. Don't let doubt take you out, honestly, because it is worth doing this business is worth everything, because one, it helps you, and I know that that's the selfish way to look at it, but it does. And in a selfless way, it helps other people as well, because you get to give people the gift of helping them with products that change their day-to-day life. The products that I've helped people with have helped them not have children up in the night screaming with skin conditions, itching till they're bleeding, little babies with these skin conditions, you know, these common skin irritations that so many babies have, and children, they go back and forth to the doctors with all these GP, you know, prescriptions and stuff to put on their skin. You know, it might help temporarily, but it doesn't help long term. I've helped parents to not have that anymore. People that don't have any energy, I've helped them with product guidance to help them with energy. People that are on, you know, all these different medications and they're just struggling and they just don't know, you know, what day of the week it is, helping them. The help that you learn how to give from this business to give to other people is tremendous. That honestly, if I didn't earn a penny from this business, I'd still recommend these products to people, because it makes a difference to their life. It makes a huge difference. And if the negative people don't see that, just ignore it, because you know that these products are a tremendous help for other people. And I suppose all you have to think about is negative people. What do they want? Do they want people to not have an extra source of income around their main job, or not, or get off government help, or be with their children? Do they want people to not have great products? Like, what is the sole purpose of their negativity trying to drag you back down? Like, what do they actually want? Do they, you know, for me, I'm able to be with my daughter every single hospital appointment, and I have been for the past 4 years. She's 4 years old now, and she's not once been in hospital without her mum by her side, not once. If I didn't have network marketing in my life, I would have to work, and I would not be with my daughter in hospital every single time she has a seizure or she's in hospital. I would not be able to pick up and drop off my children at school, every drop off and pick up. I would not be able to go to the Harvest Festival. I would not be able to go to see my daughter at swimming. I would not be able to see my husband, because he would be working just as much as me 7 days a week to pay our bills. So what do people want? What does that negative person that is just mean want? What is their intention? Because honestly, I think their intention is just to try and make themselves feel better. So don't take it personally. Their negativity is taking over their life. And if that's all they've got to focus on to make themselves feel better is to pull down somebody else that's doing something amazing and helping other people, then shame on them. Shame on them. You keep doing what you're doing. Don't even comment on anybody's negativity, because it'll drag you down as well. You just keep helping people, learning about what you need to learn about these products and this business, and helping others, and just being the best version of you that you can be, and inspiring the people that are watching you, whether that's your spouse, your children, your friends, your family, people in your business, your team. Just keep inspiring people, and know that you're a great person and you've made a really great decision. Don't let that negativity pull you down. Okay, thanks everybody.